Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Atlanta. Good morning, Southeast. Good morning, East Coast. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Huddle. I wanted to be on TV, and I'm on TV today. I hope everybody's doing okay. Look, we appreciate that you're here. We appreciate that you opened your calendar. We appreciate that you allowed yourself to be here with us because, as we like to say here, it's not a small thing that you're here. You had to open your calendar, you had to move things around, and it's also not a small thing that you woke up. So thank you for being here. We appreciate you profoundly. And we're going to have a phenomenal conversation with a great speaker. Let me tell you, he's super good looking. I can't wait to talk to him today.
He's the second sexiest man on the Daily Huddle.
The second sexiest man on the Daily Huddle, representing the Gorditos Club. A sexy man, yes. So let's get us all primed and let's get us all ready. All right, Michael Harris, good. Oh, well, let me ask you something, Michael Harris. I forgot my question. The question is critical, right? Michael Harris, I got a question for you.
Okay.
What's the scariest plant?
Scariest plant? Venus flytrap?
Okay. Why not? It's actually, Michael, you ready?
I'm ready.
A bamboo.
Oh, show yourself out.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No. That was bad.
Man, that's not how you say your voice.
It's terrible.
I tell you, the worse, the better. That's what you call scraping the bottom of the humor barrel.
That'll be hard to beat.
Bamboo.
Bamboo. You're unbelievable.
Sorry, no, I have to apologize for that one. It was so bad I had to say it. I really did have to say it. It was terrible. All right, let's get us primed. Let's get us ready. Michael Harris, back to you. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am, as I say that I am, and I say that I am exceptional.
Exceptional. I love that. Robin, good morning. Where are you?
Giovanni, I am right where I am supposed to be, and I am on the Daily Huddle getting ready to start my day the right way, sir.
I love it. Thank you, Robin, for being here. And Keith, 2 questions for you, Keith.
Okay.
What time is it, and one thing you're grateful for?
It is 9:06. It's time for the Daily Huddle, and I am grateful for my health. I came down the COVID mountain 2 weeks ago, and except for a little bit of fatigue, I'm doing great. So I'm very, very happy for my health.
I love it. Thank you, Keith, for sharing that. We're grateful for your health as well. And the time, Keith, is now. That's the only time available, Keith.
I was going back to my radio days, and yeah, I look at the clock. It's 9:07 now. So there you go. And it's 82 degrees outside.
Sorrel, America's leadership coach. We are almost 1 year of anniversary for the Daily Huddle. And everyone, you're going to get an email from us, but we're going to celebrate our 1 year anniversary, over 250 episodes on March 25th. We can't wait to have that conversation. This is
it's going to be awesome.
Sorrel, America's leadership coach. Good morning,
Giovanni,
sir.
good morning. You are the #1 transformational leadership coach, my friend, and I get the pleasure, the privilege, and the honor to introduce you as our featured speaker today. And folks, I've got 3 words. to introduce Gio, and I'll add a fourth one at the end, right? The first one is generous. Now, if you were to cut Giovanni open, you'd find nothing.
A big mess.
You'd find nothing but the desire, the propensity, and he's just compelled to give and give and give. The second word is loving. I mess up so many times, and Giovanni stays in my life. And Giovanni, you do that for everyone. So thank you for being loving. And the third word is authentic. Now, every time something happens on the Daily Huddle, Giovanni's got a little story out of his life that he'll share in a way that just bears him wide open. And everybody gets their life out of that little story. Giovanni, thank you for being authentic. And the fourth word is funny. Giovanni, you are funny. You are relatable. You are lovable. And people just love to be with you. With a heart like that and content like that, who wouldn't want to be on the Daily Huddle? So today's your day, brother. And your question is how to train your team to elevate their performance and create a high-performing culture. Giovanni, welcome to the Daily Huddle, brother.
Yay, thank you, Sorrel. Thank you very much. There is a feeling, particular feeling and emotion, Sorrel. Sorry, when you say welcome to the Daily Huddle, there is this kind of a feeling there of, oh my gosh, I'm a little nervous now, and I get to host it every day. Thank you for those kind words, Sorrel. They're just amazing and beautiful, and thank you for creating me as a great human being. And I know it is because of who you are. My grandmother used to say, I like to say this. I like to say this a lot. I grew up with my grandmother. And I like to say that she taught me everything I needed to know to be a great human being. And I forgot most of things, And I mean that. I really mean that. Thank you, Sorrel. So today's conversation is one I'm really passionate about, and it really is where my whole life is wrapped up around it. And everything I do is wrapped up around the question, how to train your team to elevate their performance and create a high-performing culture while creating a high-performing culture. And I'm going to just kind of say a little bit of why I'm passionate about this, and then I'm going to give you like 5 shifts, if you will, that if you use them, you'll create a culture around you, a team around you that is just unprecedented what's possible. And I've seen this time and time and time again. So I'm passionate about this conversation because the possibility of my life, right? What my life has evolved to and where my life is now, it's really, truly, really a function of someone in my past who took responsibility for the culture of their team. Really, my life is that whatever credit I can take for myself, or wherever I get to be acknowledged as a coach or as a facilitator, right? Or as a business leader or as a co-host, it really is a function of another human being sometime in my past, a leader like yourself who took responsibility, like intentional responsibility for the culture around them, where they said, I'm going to elevate the standards of the people around me. So when I joined those teams, I just kind of got lucky. I joined a team whose leader and whose team were committed to a particular standard, and they were committed to a particular language, and they were committed to a particular way of doing things that I came to those teams with my own past, with my own beliefs, my own fears, all of my biases. I came with the team with all of those things that weren't necessarily aligned to high performance. They weren't necessarily aligned to an extraordinary human being. I was just someone who was surviving the day. I just wanted to get a paycheck. I just wanted to just pay my bills. And then when I heard a while ago that you can get health insurance by working for somebody, well, that was bonus. I'm paying my bills and I get health insurance, but neither paying my bills nor getting health insurance gets a human being to activate their highest potential. Money does not activate their highest potential. Health insurance doesn't activate their highest potential. Neither family activates their highest potential. But a community does. A team does. So that's why I became really passionate about it. That's how I found out about growth and development, in a particular way where it just used me and I became a geek about it. And then my life transformed. I went from being someone who sold newspapers at traffic lights and was a dishwasher. And I wasn't doing that as a transition. I was doing that for a living. That's what I was doing. But you don't get stuck with what you do. You get stuck with who you think you are. And that's who I thought I was. But a team committed to high standards completely started re-engineering, reprogramming now I'm going to use a fancy language because I just want to sound cool, I don't know, started reorganizing my neural associations for what's possible. And my life was never the same. So that's why I'm so passionate. And that's why Sorel and I have a company that we partner to go to companies and transform their teams and transform their cultures, because I'm committed and we are committed to not just create high productivity and have people be massively successful at what they do, but also to have people love their life and enjoy what they do. And that's what I'm passionate about. So that was my 5-minute story on how to do this. So the 5 shifts to create a high-performing culture are very simple. And then we go into a little bit of Q&A. The first one is, wherever you are the leader. Wherever you are the leader. It doesn't matter if you're the dishwasher of a restaurant, or it doesn't matter if you're actually the person, the founder and CEO of an organization. Wherever you are the leader. And it's critical that wherever you are, you see yourself as a servant. Wherever you are, you're serving an opportunity for something. So I won't be specific, but given that, we are listening from different things you do, but you are a servant. You are a leader and you're a servant to something. So if I could generalize it, it will be to high standards. Whatever you do, you are a servant to high standards. And you are the leader. The buck stops with you. And you want to allow yourself to always go there. This is a concept of allowing. It starts with the leader. Why? Because people, here's the first shift. People follow people before they follow a vision. So a lot of times we want to share our vision. This is where we're going and this is what I'm up to. But people follow people first. What's inspiring is the person who's going and is dealing with the trouble and the tribulations. That's what's inspiring. That's what connects people. Their high standards, how they have reinvented themselves, right, to deal with the trouble that every day comes. People follow people before they follow a vision, right? So a simple example is, if I want to create a people who have high integrity, if I want to create a team that has high integrity and they show up on time, but I don't show up on time, right? I show up at 12 o'clock and I leave at 3, right? The people will, at the beginning, will mirror my style of leadership. At the beginning, they will. And so now you got a team full of, pulling in different directions. You create a toxic culture, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the first shift. People follow people before they follow a vision. The second shift is really powerful, and you're going to miss it. Sorrel and I spent 90 days working on this one shift we're going to be talking about, right? And the shift is people support what they create. People support what they create. So a lot of times when the buck stops with you, right? I'm going to make an assumption. It's not true, but a lot of times we buy into this world of delegating, right? Like delegate this, delegate that, delegate this, delegate that. Somebody who knows what they're talking about said it, but they missed a particular context, which is critical. And without it, you also create a team of pulling in different directions. And it's true that I'm going to delegate. It's true that a leader needs to delegate. However, that leader needs to have in mind all the time that people support what they create. So that's why when you have a team and there is a new direction happening, a new direction that, we're going into a different direction, we're dealing with a particular challenge, and the leader immediately delegates, hey, you go ahead and do that, without saying in a way, without creating a context where they're also owning that step. They're also seeing ownership of that. They're also creating it with you. Then they'll resist it. They'll resist you. Then they'll look at their own calendar during the day and they'll be like, well, I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do this. And now you're telling me to do this. Then they'll find a way to like prioritize in the world of priorities. And it likely create a kind of a culture of some people would do some things and some people would do other things, right? So that's the distinction, right? I'm only taking a minute for that. So that's the distinction. People support what they create. The next distinction, which is really critical, and I'm going to stop on the third distinction so we can do some Q&A. The third distinction is that we got to create a conversation around the team that uplifts the identity of the team. You got to create a conversation, a weekly conversation. Did you hear that? Weekly, not like every 6 months, a weekly conversation, maybe as far as every 2 weeks, to just elevate the identity of the team. How do you elevate the identity of the team? To talk about the reason for being together, the why of the business, the mission of the business. Doing the daily activities, people never associate the why of the business, never with the daily activities. But when you get together with your team, whoever you're part of your company, however it is, and you relive, regenerate the why of the business, the mission of the business, now they see their daily activities. Now they see their daily activities as a mission for the opportunity of what they're doing. And that elevates everything that they're up to. Let me give you this example real quick. There are 3 men. I know you've heard it before. Some of you have heard it before, but it's powerful every time I say it. There are 3 men doing exactly the same thing. And they ask the first man, what are you doing? And he has a hammer and he has a nail and he has a rock and he's hitting that hammer with that nail to that rock and he's hammering and hammering and hammering and hammering. And they ask that man, what are you doing? And he says, don't you see what I'm doing? I'm hitting this stupid rock. That's what I'm doing. I'm hammering a stupid rock. And then they go to the next man and they see him doing exactly the same thing, hammering and hammering and hammering. What are you doing? Well, don't you see what I'm doing? I'm paying my bills. I am paying for my kids' education, right? Oh, okay. And then they ask the third man, what are you doing? And he's hammering and hammering, doing exactly the same thing. And they ask that man, what are you doing? And he says, oh, I'm building the Sistine Chapel. They were all doing the same thing, but one man was connected to something that elevates his identity, elevated his performance, and that's the why of the business. So you got to huddle up with your team every 2 weeks at least and just reconnect. Why are we doing this again? What's the impact of this? And then you start seeing that identity elevates and people will do more for an environment, for a cause than they will ever do for money. That's it, Sorrel. I'm going to stop on the third shift. If you want to hear the other ones, I'm going to put it in the chat, a little landing page that talks about all of those shifts. I'm going to put it in the chat. I didn't mean to leave you hanging. I'm going to put it in the chat. You go to the landing page and you'll see all the videos there for you to take a look. Thank you, Sorrel.
Great work, Giovanni. Great work. You know what? Now I hate you as much as you hate Vince. You know, you've taken away my go-to excuse, man. It's like, so here I am at home and the laundry's not done. And you know where I go, right? It's not my job, somebody else's job. And you just said, wherever I am, I'm the leader. And, you know, I'm using this little trivial laundry example, but God, Giovanni, it's all over my life. I'd love for whatever it is I want to be somebody else's job. And the anchor that you created, that wherever I am, I'm the leader, is like a prerequisite for the 3 shifts or the 5 shifts. I am the leader wherever I am. Therefore, I tend to that people follow me. I tend to that people support what they create. And I tend to creating an empowering environment for my team. Man, it kind of feels like a heavy burden, right? I am the leader wherever I am. So I officially hate you as much as you hate Vince.
Thank you, Sorrel. That was actually a compliment. Thank you, Sorrel. Thank you very much.
Questions, comments, gang? What's percolating where you are?
Well, one thing that I heard that was very significant to me, I'm a solo entrepreneur, practitioner, so I don't have a team. But when you're talking about the conversation should elevate the spirit and the energy of the group, that's true for me. My conversation with myself needs to elevate my motivation, my spirit, my confidence, my courage. And sometimes the most horrible things that happen in life are the words we say to ourselves. So thank you for that.
Yeah. And one thing I meant to say at the beginning, Keith, is that I was going, and I had it written down and I didn't say it. I was going to say one of the most uplifting and liberating things to do is to create a team around what you do. You know, that there's this magic, there is this world that happens when I started allowing myself to create a team around what I was doing. So I highly recommend to all of us, not just to you, Keith, but whoever, all of us who are solopreneurs, to start allowing ourselves in thinking in terms of, how do I create a team around me, right? It's a phenomenal, beautiful thing to do. Create a team for your business and for oneself as well. Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Keith. Any other comments or questions? Anything percolating?
So yeah, Mike Harris here. So I love that talk just now, because it reminds us all that we are the center of our own universes, right? And we create the reality for ourselves and our teams or organizations. And we set the tone, we do all of that. And I love this idea of weekly or bi-weekly coming back to, so what's the mission? Everything we're doing is working towards X, right? And I think many people miss that. They get stuck, as you said, in the activities of the day. And the activity of the day, while it helps move the ball down the court, there's no magic in the everyday task. The magic is achieving the bigger goal, whatever
Absolutely.
it is.
The impact.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. We started working with a roofing company, right? And they were a family business and they were all pulling in different directions and avoiding domination. And you can't tell me this. And, you're married to my sister, a family business. And at the time, they were doing 80 to 100 roofs a year. We huddle in one room for about 90 days, a little bit more. And then we started working on these shifts that we were talking, right? And they were able to go from, 80 to 100 roofs a year to 80 to 100 roofs a month.
Wow.
On what? On connecting to the purpose of the business. And if I remember their mission, because we created their mission statement, and it was something like turning your house into your home. That was their mission.
Mhm.
And so we emotionally connected ourselves to the opportunity of a home where children live, And so now their teams have a purpose and their sales team have a purpose, and they meet every week and they have to re-look at the mission, because that's what gets the spirit going. And then right now, they are doing about 100 roofs a month. They're doing phenomenal. They're really phenomenal people. Can't take any credit, but it certainly makes a big difference. Go ahead, Rose.
Thanks, Giovanni. So I enjoyed the whole talk, but the story of the three men, that's it. That's what took me to another level, right? And so what occurred for me over here is, the way we address, because there's the big picture, but the way we address what we might even consider the most trivial aspects of something is so important, because if we could actually put our heart into the doing the laundry or nailing the rock, right? And have that be like really the focus of our attention and give that our best, then to me, that opens a space for, we can not only be with the smallest things, but we could be with everyone. And then we become the leader that people want to follow. It goes from that, right? From that most minute thing to the best version of ourselves. I could see the whole chain reaction of that in that story that you told. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you for creating every moment in life as the microcosm of all of it. So it takes us right back to the question we love to ask. Where are you? I am right here. What time is it? It's right now. Who are you with? What are you doing? What are you up to? Well, whatever it is, that's right here, right now. So thank you, Rose. Thank you, Giovanni. It's 9:31. Giovanni, what are your last comments on the subject?
I prepared everything but my last comment. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. But what I want to say is something around you matter. What you do matters. And with a team, with people, you'll go a lot farther. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Giovanni. You matter.
Thanks, Gio. Thanks.
What you do matters. And with a team around you, Giovanni, you can go a long way, brother. I love you. And there are six things.
Your vision is their vision. Thank you, Sorrel. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
And so
Very
the conversation. Go
I
ahead,
want to
Gio.
invite them to Turning Point, Sorrel.
Yeah, that's what I want you to do right now.
Oh, go ahead, Sorrel. I like how you invite us all. Go ahead.
Well, the conversation continues. Every morning we get on the Daily Huddle and we say three things and we repeat them over and over. What time is it? Where are you? And all that. Turning Point is a continuation of that conversation and the dimension of what you could consider repetitive as something you turn into a practice. So we're inviting you to come practice with us this Saturday, the 20th of March, starting at 3 p.m. To register for that conversation, go to turningpoint.expert, http://www.turningpoint.expert. Look forward to seeing you. If you're not going to be there, replace yourself with a great friend, a colleague, or someone you really love, or someone you really hate. So until then, and until tomorrow, Giovanni, there are 6 things. And what will those 6 things do for us if we practice them regularly?
If you practice them regularly, you have great skin. You have eyesight 20/20 to those things that matter to you in your life. You have an amazing body and you're sexy and you're a leader of your life and of others. And those 5, and you live like a renegade for a long time. And the first one, so I want to say
and
the
if you
first
don't
one.
believe us, ask Patty Dabrowski.
Yes.
To do everything that Gio just mentioned, you should love. Love like nobody's business. Laugh out loud, stress less, eat mostly plant-based, sleep a whole bunch. Give until you've got nothing else to give. And to the tune of anything that Giovanni plays right now, move like crazy and continue to move throughout the rest of the day. More than 8,000 steps, right, Michael?
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a
Thank
look
you,
at my
Rose.
life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that did that. Keep it here like a
Thank you, Michael.
Heard up, you better watch how you're talking and where you're walking. Are you and your
Tell your
homies
son to get well, Robin.
I really hate the trip, but I gotta know. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of leader little homies
Robert, we'll see you soon, brother. Looking forward to it.
Giovanni. It would be tortillas. Plant-based, but tortillas. Have a great day, guys.
Awesome. You too, Robin.
All right. Love you, mean, and take care, guys.